What's going on, YouTube? Claic Yuzolt back again with another Final Fantasy Brave Exvius video, and in today's video, we're talking about Aurora Fryevia. We're talking about Kurasame and Machina and how their changes, well, at least for two of them, put them right back into the meta. They're splashing back in, and Gumi did them right. So if you have these units, get ready to deal a lot of damage. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so starting out with Aurora Fryevia, one of the fan favorites. Fryevia just seems like the unit that a lot of people love. When she came out, she just made everything you wanted to happen, and then popped out Aurora Fryevia, coming with a little bit of drama with the whole fan festa thing, but we're over that now. People really like this unit, and she fell out of meta actually quite quickly once she was finally released for everybody to summon on. But now, I swear to God, they just took her, slapped a bunch of good stuff on her, even gave her latent abilities to unlock, which we're going to go over those first, and made her a powerhouse once again. Guys, I'm not joking when I say this. She's not at the tippy top of the damage, but she's rivaling... I suck at saying that word. A lot of the units that have just come out, even some of the Halloween units, okay, guys? Like, that's how much she's been buffed up. So, scooting on down, we're going to go down to the new abilities she can unlock. Aurora's Bond and Flash Radiant Might. These are going to be latent abilities you guys can unlock through the Enlightenment Point system, okay? So you're going to get both of them. You're going to max them both out because they're both amazing. First off, increased defense and spirit goes up. You get magical and physical killers against demons and humans. And then you also get single wielding any weapon. You get true double hand 50% attack and true double hand 50% for magic. And this is just from her latent abilities. You just unlock this. You get all those goodies, all those passives added on. Now, Flash Radiant Might is going to be an active ability, as Aurora's Bond 2, once you get all the way maxed out, was a passive. Now, for Flash Radiant Might, what it's going to do is decrease light resist 100% for 5 turns to all enemies. We're actually going to have a better Imperil after enhancing her, but it's still good to have attached to this. And then we're going to have big-ass modifier increases for 9,999 turns to a lot of her great abilities. So this right here is a move you want to cast, and then you just want to cast it once in the fight, but you're going to need this so you can get even more damage out of your Aurora Fryevia, so you can hit those numbers we've been talking about before. So definitely want to unlock both of these. And honestly, guys, I love it. I love latent abilities because they're new, right? They're new abilities to old units you may have loved, and they did a great job with these abilities here to make Aurora Fryevia that much stronger and put her right back on top of the meta. So we're going to go over her ability awakenings and talk about, which ones I think you should enhance. So first and foremost, Flash Brilliance is going to be her main go-to chaining ability when she doesn't have the ability, where's it at? First Light up. Now, this is just like a one-hit thing. This is her main, like we want to call a main damage dealing ability. It's going to be First Light because this thing with the modifier increases from everything else, plus the awakenings, ability awakenings we're going to talk about, is going to hit like a truck. However, we're not always going to have that up. We can't be triple casting that and all that time. Flash Brilliance is going to be your go-to one. You definitely want to increase that. Goes up to a 15 times modifier, but again, we have other outlying things to increase that modifier even more. Next up, we have Light Streak. You are going to do this as well. This is going to be her TMR, STMR equip passive, and we're going to be able to increase that quite a bit, right? We get 20% more to attack and magic, or actually it's 50%, sorry, to increase attack and magic, and I'd have to scroll up and compare it to the last one, so we're just going to go over what's going on here. Increase equipment attack 100% when single wielding any weapon. Increase equipment and magic 100% when single any weapon. So just by going off, not even looking at our passes right now, just by going off this, if you increase it, right, and you have it on, right, if you awaken this, plus if you have this down here from her latent abilities, right, we're up to 150% on both, right, 150%, and then we have 50% more right here, which means we're up to 200% on both attack and magic true double hand, okay, and she's getting that innately. So you only need 100% to both each of those, and you're going to complete her off. It's absolutely insane. Oh, and Daybringer's right here. I didn't even see that. That's going to be 30% more. Increase equipment attack and magic 30% and accuracy 25% when single wielding any weapon. So now we're up to 230% on each of, like, on attack and magic, like true double hand. She's going to have such high attack and magic stats easily. It's going to be insane. But, you already know that because I already told you she's going to be doing a lot of damage, but you definitely want to increase this, and also there is the increased LB fill rate, and this is always there, the triple flash at the start of battle, which you're not even going to be triple casting with her anymore at the start of battle. Increase LB fill rate. We don't even use our LB, so we're not too worried about that at all, but that's just there as part of Light Streak. The other things, of course, we are. This is going to be so much compounding, so much more attack and magic on your hybrid unit. Next up, we have Flash Furious Radiance, and we definitely want to enhance this one because this is going to be our Imperil move. This is going to be our go-to Imperil, even though we do need to be casting Radiant Might too, and we get that 100% Imperil. We always lack the bigger Imperil, and guess what? We're getting one with Flash Furious Radiance, with the 120% Divine Ruination Chaining family. So, there's that. But the 120% is really what you're going for here. So you want to make sure you max that out and be casting that when it falls off after 3 turns to make sure you're still doing that nice light damage. Next up, we have Wielder of Light. And again, guys, I'm just going to keep repeating this. Whenever a enhancement comes to a unit that increases stats, of course you're going to be using it, right? Because if you're going to be using that unit, you want all the stats you can get. Stats across the board, giving and then putting up some modifiers up to Aurora Storm. Now, I don't know if to maximize your time with Aurora Fryevia, I don't think you're going to be casting this ability very often, but it's there for people that may want to, and you get a little MP back. Although, again, with Flash Brilliance, recover MP 75 to caster, you may not run into mana problems at all with Aurora Fryevia. Maybe you will, I don't know. Next up, we have Daybringer, which is what we just talked about. It was 30% up. Maybe I should have waited till I got to this to try to calculate this true double hand stuff, because it gets increased even more. We go up from 30% to 50%. So now we're up to 250% innate for true double hand attack and true double hand magic. So you're getting 250%. You just need 50% on both. Okay, cap it out, become strong. Then, on top of that, we increase our modifiers even more to all of these great abilities, and you can see Flash Brilliance is one of them, Furious Radiance is something we're going to be casting a lot, and I think Flash Luster we will also cast. Is Luster the one? I think it is. Yes, if we do not have a light weapon in our hand, this is going to add light elemental damage, and having modifiers up on that, hey, anytime you can add modifiers means you're adding damage to your overall kit, which is amazing. Moving on down, we after that. So, of course, you're going to enhance that. It looks like we're enhancing everything so far, right? Because it's all amazing. They did a great job with Aurora Fryevia, but we all kind of knew they were going to do that because the global producers and developers seem like they love Fryevia. Next up, we have Double Flash. Now, it may seem like, what is this? Why? I'm going to be triple casting a lot, Claic. Why would I want to do this? For the first turn that you use Aurora Fryevia, you're going to need Double Flash +2. At least to my knowledge. I've been looking over this. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But you're going to need Double Flash 2, specifically because you want to use Gift of Daylight +2. And then you're going to go and use the Radiant Might 2. So we're going to get into Gift of Light 2, but you need this to be able to W cast that at the beginning, and you can't triple cast it. So you're going to want to go down and, obviously you want to use this big ability. We talked about it. Look at these modifier increases across the board, man. You need that. And then Gift of Life 2, what that's going to do, it's turns out to be a 4-turn cooldown after you enhance it, so we're going to move down one. So we said yes to Double Flash. Enable skill for 4 turns, Triple Flash. You're giving yourself triple cast for 4 turns, putting up your attack and magic by 250%, and restores your HP and MP by 100% to caster. Now, when you cast this on turn 1, you probably don't have any HP or MP missing, unless I guess you can cast this after you cast Radiant Might and then get a little bit of MP back. But so you want to cast this, enable yourself to be triple casting as much as possible, and then also and also if you look at this, turning the cooldown down, you will always have triple cast up. Okay, even on turn 1 you have triple cast. I don't think you're using it, but I do believe that at this point now you will always have triple cast up with Aurora Fryevia, and you're going to have a nice big fat 250% attack and magic up as well for them hybrid hits that you need. And then when Gift of Daylight comes up, if you need an MP, again, she doesn't seem like she's going to have very much MP problems, does she, guys? Next up is First Light. This is her big damage dealing ability, right? Like, it smacks so hard. If you look at this, it's going to turn into a 65 times modifier to all enemies. You can use it on cooldown whenever it's up. It's available turn 4. It's a 4-turn cooldown. Always be casting this when you can. And then it also gets a ton of modifier increases from other abilities as well, making it just a bomb. Like, when you be able to cast this in there, it's going to be great, and you're going to be doing a lot of damage. So overall, I know I pretty much just read down the list, but I wanted to make sure you are enhancing everything here. If you are going to be using Aurora Fryevia, you are going to be enhancing everything here, and you're going to be going ham with her. Okay, she is worth it. Like, I don't know how else to say it, but she is worth it. Aurora Fryevia friends are probably going to start popping up on your friends list, because if you already have her in your kit and you're like, man, I'm missing out on these, like, didn't get King Rain, I didn't get Terra, I'm just getting unlucky. If you already have Aurora Fryevia, time to slap that biddy up with all these enhancements, because she's going to be extremely powerful for you, okay, guys? And it's something you should definitely look into. Her rotation is very simple. You just need to cast Gift of Daylight on cooldown. You need to cast at least one time. So at the beginning of your battle, as long as she doesn't go down, you need to cast Flash of Radiant Might so you can get all those modifier increases. You're going to imbue light with Flash Luster. If you already have light on your weapon, you can skip this step, and then you're just going to endlessly chain Flash Brilliance over and over and over and over and over and over again until Gift of Light is up, and on the turn that Gift of Light comes back up, because remember this goes down to a 4-turn cooldown, it will be turn 4, and then you can also cast First Light, which is going to do massive amounts of damage for you guys, and then you're just going to go back right into the rotation of chaining, and then also imbuing if you need to. And then I did forget this, the imperil here. It is 120% afterwards, so you want to throw that in. So when I said you need to imbue, you probably need to throw in this Furious Radiance as well, because you do have 100% imperil from the, let's see, where is it at? The Flash Radiant Might, but you do want to get that 120% imperil in. So excuse me, on the second turn, when you do imbue, you probably want to imperil as well, and then do one Flash Brilliance, and then just go ham, and then just throw these. It's a pretty simple rotation, right? So it's Flash Brilliance when everything's good to go. If it's not good to go, make sure you're imbued, make sure you're imperiled, and on cooldown, cast these two abilities, and you're good to go. Well, bam, bam, you don't have to do LB or anything like that, and you're going to see some massive damage coming out of your girl, Aurora Fryevia. So for all you fans out there, you're going to love her. Next up, we're going to talk about Machina. Going to be a unit that used to be very good at 6-star breaking, right? You didn't have to get to 7-star with him. 6-star, he was good to go. Has he increased? Like, we're looking at his increase at breaking. Now, I know a lot of people kind of want to use him for damage now, looking over these different buffs. They're trying to make him do a little bit more damage, right? He could be like that damage dealing side breaker. However, we have so many other better breakers in the game. Still, I'm going to talk about Machina, but even with these enhancements, I do believe you might have other better options, and if you don't, I think you should specifically just focus on the breaking mechanics of Machina and not try to turn Machina into a damage dealer, because you can see we do have increases to damage. We do get the chaining for true dual wield, modifying increase on Machina, but I don't think it's enough for you to really worry about currently. Now, you guys can tell me I'm wrong. You want to, any damage, again, I even say this in the last thing I just talked about with Aurora Fryevia. Any damage is more damage. But it's tough because I'm not going to tell you guys to go out there and just take Machina off the bench, enhance everything, waste all your gil, waste all your enhancement materials, and then, going to be great to go, right? This review right here for Machina, in my opinion, is just for people that only have Machina as their breaker. So if you only have Machina as your breaker and you think that's what you're going to stick with, you're not going to try to UOC or get somebody else, then you can go in and enhance the damage. So, if you can't beat a trial, you need a little bit more damage, push it over the edge. We can see that with enhancements, we also get a fire resist 120%, and we get ice and lightning by 100%, so could be a great imperiler for you too. So if you're looking for Machina to be your breaker imperiler, these are your options as well with Elemental Eager. Now, Stunning Slash and Sword Siphon are going to be increased. One of the problems that Machina had was, Machina was a great breaker for one turn, right? If you were in trouble, if that one turn could cast the break at 70%, it lasts for one turn, you could do a lot of damage to the boss, or the boss could do... the boss would do less damage to you with this attack and magic break, and the defense spirit break, you do more damage to the boss, but then the next turn it would fall off substantially. Well, now it's been increased to even more higher percentages on all the breaks down the board, and the turns have been increased for the earlier, stronger breaks. This is going to make Machina a more viable option, for breaking and being able to support the rest of your team. I would definitely enhance these two if you were going to think about using Machina as your breaker. Moving on down, again, this is going to be really up to you, because that's really all I care about when it comes to Machina are those breaking abilities. I'm not going to talk about them too much. I don't want to waste your time because I'm so uninterested. It's probably going to be a terrible review. Machina did get increases to breaking, right? We just saw that. But as a unit, I still don't think Machina is really worthy of being on your team compared to a lot of the other breakers. And I'm even going back to like 2B days of being a breaker. In my opinion, I think 2B is better than Machina even after enhancement. So Machina sadly didn't get that same oomph that Kurasame and Aurora Fryevia saw in this. But if you are using Machina, a little bit of extra help for you guys with that breaking. Oh, Kurasame, one of those units I've never quite understood why people love so much, but a fan favorite for sure. I must have been off looking at other damage dealers at the time, was a very good damage dealer, and again, people were sad to see Kurasame fall out of the meta, but he's back in action, and he's doing a shit ton of damage. He's not doing as much as Aurora Fryevia, but guys, it's so damn near close that it really is minuscule. You don't have to worry about that. If you're a Kurasame fan, this guy is actually going to be dishing out the damage like you wouldn't believe. One of the biggest problems with Kurasame is this chaining family right here, Quick Hit. One of the hardest chaining families to get right. Even with macro, it would fail sometimes. I think it's just a bad designed chaining family. And guys, I practiced it. I used to use Tidus on my iPad trying to get it to chain. I would chain like 1 in every 20, 30 times, and I knew I had it perfect because every other chaining I could do except for quick hit, and that is because it's just broken. It's not designed well. And they get rid of that. You don't have to worry about that anymore. So quick hit fans, if you were out there, you use Sadist, it's gone. Sorry. Like if you're going to enhance your unit here, you're not going to be using it anymore. Let's go over what you should enhance and what you shouldn't, because in my opinion, excuse me, Kurasame has a lot of things you can skip over. You should be saving your gil, saving your enhancement material. So instant health free skip. We're going to be getting triple cast and imperils from somewhere else. Zekin cloudless rain, Zekin freeze and showers, gone. We don't want to be using these. The only time you want to enhance these are if you really want to use disorder chaining. If somehow your chaining families out there, you're not getting a unit to chain with, your Kurasame, and you really need that disorder chaining family to be able to chain with a friend, that's when you would enhance this. Other than that, skip it. You don't need it. One of the main abilities we are going to be enhancing is Zekin Sudden Downpour. Hyper damage 23 times. We get a big modifier increase here. And then decrease ice resist by 120%. And that's why we don't need any other imperil. It's for 5 turns, guys. 120%. Chaining family goes from quick hit to absolute mirror of equity, which is a very easy chaining family to use, even with your hands, and it's very popular. So it's really great. A change we have here, and we want to get that ice. We're going to be using ice damage, so we want to get that ice imperil in there. Next up, we have definitive command. Increasing any of your stats is great. Increase attack magic 50. Oh, okay. So this is actually an ability cast. Okay. Increase attack and magic 150% for 5 turns of all allies. Increase ice resist 100% for 5 turns of all allies. So normally I would be like, you can skip this because you probably have another buffer that can do this. However, the increased ice resist by 100% may come in handy. So I wouldn't just go out there and immediately increase this ability. However, if you run into a fight where you need ice resist, Kurasame is going to be your damage dealer. This may be an option for you to get that 100%. You don't have to worry about all those ice imperils or that ice damage because of that. So this is definitely one you should consider if you run into a trial where you might need that. Next up, we have double Zekin. We are going to need to go ahead and enhance this here. It's going to give us the ability to 2-cast some of our, some of our cooldown abilities, along with some of our other abilities we may need to cast, and one of them is going to be Ice Magic Unleashed on the first turn, along with Sudden Downpour. This is going to give us our Imperil, and also give us, which we're going to talk about in here, big buffs and Imbue. So you want to be able to cast both of those on turn 1. So you do need to enhance double Zekin. Moving on, we have Ice Magic Unleashed, and of course, this is our big buffing. Imbuing ability here, so we do want to increase it up to +2. It's available on turn 1, and now it only has a 6-turn cooldown once you, increase it and enhance it. Increase attack magic 250% for 6 turns, so you can see that it laps over. Increase ice resist 100% for 6 turns to caster, so it laps over. And then we put an ice element on physical attacks for 6 turns to caster. And then enable skill for kiss turns, 6 turns, triple Zekin Twilight Rain. And Twilight Rain is going to be our main chaining ability, and we're always going to have it up thanks to Ice Magic Unleashed. So you want to make sure that this is enhanced, guys. This is going to be a mainstay in the rotation for him, so enhance that up. Diamond Rain is going to be kind of similar to the to that other ability that Aurora Fryevia had, where it's, it's available on turn 4, 4-turn cooldown, big hybrid damage, and now it's going to be A-ray chaining. So, again, not as popular as some of the other chaining families. A little bit weird to chain with them in my use and in my experience. Not the hardest, though. So you definitely want to be casting this on cooldown, and so you do want to enhance it. Okay, now here's where you can see you definitely... These are the stat increases. I did make a mistake. I thought this was the stat increase I'd looked over, but it's actually this one. You're getting big increases to attack. You're getting big increases to your true double hand attack and magic in here, and you're getting increases to your abilities. And Sudden Downpour is one of them. And then, of course, Twilight Rain, like I talked about, going to be our main chaining ability. Getting increases there is awesome. We want to do that. The last but not least, the Ice Reaper here, TMR or STMR equipped. We're getting more MP, it looks like. We're getting Defense Spirit and HP. Automatically, we're going to be using this because of the more stats. Right? You want to be able to live, you want to be able to survive, and you want to be able to use more of your abilities with that MP increase. It's pretty good. We do get an increase to MP every 5% per turn, and then autocast the Ice Reaper +2 at the start of battle. So we're going to go look at the Ice Reaper +2, which I guess it's up here. It's kind of weird going back and forth through this stuff. I just want to make sure I cover this. Ice Reaper, gives you triple Zekin, but again, you're not going to be using that triple Zekin ability because at the first turn, you want to get that Imperil on and you want to get your big buff. So what is his rotation looking like? Like, how do I get that massive amounts of damage, Claic, that you're talking about? It's really simple. Kind of almost as simple as, I mean, Aurora Fryevia and him both have pretty simple rotations nowadays. And also, you know, don't forget this. Like, don't sleep on this ability right here for getting a lot of those summoning, you know, what is it called? Missions. Because, you know, now that you can have him on your team, you're not sacrificing one of your other team members for like an ace or something to pop this off. This is your main damage dealer. Put a re-raise, go ahead and pop it off, and then you get your evocation gauge up. So it's very, very, very cool to have that on Kurasame. I just didn't want you guys to forget that. So without further ado, let's talk about his rotation. We're going to go ahead and use magic, ice magic unleashed. You know, we need to get that imbue. We need to get that, you know, attack and magic up, and we also need to make sure that we have a triple cast available for Twilight Rain. So we're going to unlock Twilight Rain. The next turn, you're just going to triple cast that Twilight Rain. Okay, the next turn after that, you're going to triple cast Twilight Rain. And then after that, you need to make sure that you have Diamond Rain in the rotation, right? Because you can cast it. I know it says 6 turns, but remember, when we enhance it, it goes down to a 4-turn rotation. So on turn 4, you're going to cast that. And then you're also going to cast the Twilight Rain again. You're going to cast that as many times as you can, and then just rinse and repeat. When Ice Magic Unleashed is up, and then you also need to put the Zekin Downpour. As we can see down here, it is our Imperil ability. That's it. So anytime that you need to imbue, or this is actually when this is available, and you do this in the Imperil, when you need to, and then other than that, you're just casting Twilight Rain, and then on, you know, when the turns that this is up, you're casting this. Easy, right? And you're gonna be out there squashing people. I mean, Kefka's running for his life. That new series boss battle, running for his life from Kurasame. Very, very powerful. So overall, guys, these enhancements were astronomically amazing. I mean, there are sometimes we get in here and these enhancements aren't the best, and they're not too amazing. But the Kurasame Aurora Fryevia knocked it out of the park here for you guys out there, letting you guys come right back into the meta. If you're just getting back into the game or something, or even if you're playing now and you've been out of your luck, these are two that you can grab onto and mess around with. I do want to speak on something else really quick. Oh, good old Fryevia. That's right. Didn't want to forget about her. I know you guys were like, Claic, what about Fryevia? She got latent abilities too. So Fryevia, again, the developers love her. I don't think they're ever going to let her die. With her latent abilities down at the bottom here that she got, I'm not going to cover them too much. She is on par almost with Elena, okay? Almost with Elena. What I more so want to talk about, instead of just going over these latent abilities, because the video is already too long, is I think Fryevia is due for a global overhaul, similar to the way Roberta and those other units got as well. I think that could be coming to her. I think also all of the units in the future could get these latent ability upgrades, and I think that's something that people overlook in this game. You know, it's always about, you know, and it sucks because it's going to sound shill. It's going to sound so shill, but it's not. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling you how I feel about the game. They are allowing you to use these old units, Aurora Fryevia, Machina, which not so much Machina, Kurasame, and all those other units they've enhanced in the past with these latent abilities or these ability awakenings, and allowing you to get right back into it. And with these global changes, they're almost to the top. Like, they're almost to the tippy top where you're not going to need to summon for a lot of these units. So I really like that about our game in global. I really love that you can use these older units to come back in. Now, Fryevia isn't going to do it as high as those other two we talked about before. However, again, I wouldn't give up on Fryevia too much if you're a huge just Fryevia fan. You're like, fuck Aurora Fryevia, I love Fryevia, because I think she's going to be getting more, and I think she's going to be getting a global overhaul in the future. So be on the lookout for that. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you're going with the Aurora Fryevia Kurasame, or you're good with your damage dealers. Subscribe for more content. Catch me on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Claic Yuzolt, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.